Hey Jacey, I have a question.
Yeah?
Why did the traffic cop give the poet a ticket?
Why?
For driving without a poetic license? Hello everyone, it's Missy, and welcome to For Better or Worse, a show where we improvise poetry to various rules and forms from all over the world. Hello there, viewers. How are you doing today in this winter world? My guest today is Jacey.
Hi!
And today we are doing haikus, a Japanese form of poetry. We're gonna have a 15 minutes timer, and within these 15 minutes, we want to finish writing a haiku. If you wanna play along, the rules we chose for this one are it has to be nature themed, the topic itself is the season winter, it has to be a three liner with 5, 7, 5 syllables, and it usually in haiku is a rule it should provoke an emotion with its imagery. So,
Okay.
JC, what do you know about haikus?
Um, so I know the 575 thing. Kind of vaguely remember as a kid learning that they're usually about nature and they're very imagery based. Um,
Hmm.
to be honest though, I really don't know. I don't know what makes a good haiku. I know they don't necessarily have to rhyme. And I feel like my brain is gonna want this to rhyme, and I'm gonna struggle with that part. 'Cause that's just
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
think that's definitely gonna be a challenge. Yeah, I've never done a haiku either,
Oh,
which
really? I've actually wrote them in grade school, like when I was in like maybe like third, fourth
hmm
grade,
we didn't
but
even
they weren't
cover them
good.
in school. Like we didn't even
Really?
cover them. No, not at all. Like we covered sonnets, we covered different German forms of poetry, but never this kind of thing.
Oh wow! I love that you skipped right to sonnets too. Like you're like, oh, we covered sonnet. Like I've never written a sonnet. I barely know. I know of sonnets. I don't know anything
Hmm.
about them. And one day we're gonna do a sonnet, right? We're gonna build up to that,
Oh yeah, that's.
maybe.
I
Okay.
felt like sonnet would be the most complicated thing, but
Yes.
having read up on what a haiku even is at this point, I already feel okay. This is complicated enough.
Really? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
There's a lot to haikus. I actually read up on the history a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very old form of poetry, but it was popularized again in modern consciousness by Masaoka Shiki, whose students then ended up taking it in very different directions. So there's
Hmm.
the experimental haiku style, which like kind of eschews the traditional rules, which led to such things like it's called senryu, which is like a haiku, but the theme is like personal, emotional instead of nature.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there's like a huge discussion whether senryu even counts as haiku or if that's an entirely different thing. Like, there's a lot of debate about everything haiku.
So our rules are basically we're gonna follow that 5 syllables for the first line, 7 for the second, 5 for the third, and
Hmm.
the topic is gonna be winter.
Yeah, because most haikus are actually seasonal.
I have some strong. You also mentioned emotions have to be part of
Hmm.
it, like emotional imagery. I have some strong feelings about winter that I think are gonna come out in this haiku. So,
I'm excited to see that. Let's start. So, the topic is winter, everything has to be nature themed,
mm-hmm.
and it's 575.
Okay, all right.
We
So
got this.
I'm starting now. I
Alright,
hit
oh
the
god.
timer. Let's go. All right.
Uh,
5, 7.
okay.
Oops.
Is this
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Okay, I've got my first sentence. Like I said,
Okay.
I've been thinking about this way too much already.
I know. I know
Okay,
the
shit.
tone I want to take for this.
Uh huh.
I just have to figure out the right imagery and the right words.
I'm actually just thinking too much about all the rules we are not using.
Yeah, I
Like,
know. It's
how
like
would I build this
let's
in here? No, let me finish my writing first.
let's have all this extra stuff to make it harder for the very first time we do this. I love too. We talked about this idea, and it was like, oh, let's start with haikus because it's easy. And then it's like you
Mm,
did so much research that it's like gonna
yeah.
overcomplicate it for you.
Which
You
actually, I'm really excited to come back to this later when we did a couple of these and like figure out um how else to do this, how else to like approach these challenges to make it harder. That's gonna be
yeah.
fun.
I already want to rhyme. I think I shouldn't because I think it'll make it cheesier if I do.
Probably, yeah. Um, Man, now I'm looking up synonyms just to feel like get inspiration from that, which is also something I tend to do sometimes. Just if I have like an idea of a theme, I'm just like, okay, so what other words are there?
Is that 7? Hold on. I'm already like,
Mm.
if we were on Facecam, you would just see me holding up my fingers like,
I have one, but it's 8. That's not one. Also, I'm definitely doing all the finishing sentences thing way too much. I think I sort of have a theme at this point, though it's not mirroring.
Missy, I think I'm done. How am I done this quick?
What? How much time do we have left?
Like 12 minutes.
Oh my gosh! I mean,
maybe I should make it better. This is just my first
go
draft.
about editing now. I have 2 of my 3 lines, but I did not expect us to be this quick.
No, I know.
Also,
I was like, can we do it in 5 minutes? You're like, no, like 20, and we were like, how about 15? But I could make this better, probably. It conveys the idea that I wanted.
I actually have no idea what I like. I'm slowly making my way toward a theme I'm expressing with winter imagery. But I'm also like, where's my emotion? There's not enough emotion in this yet. But also, I usually express emotion by describing emotion in a very physical way, like how a human reacts, and that's not supposed to happen in haikus, at least not in traditional ones.
Maybe my last line doesn't fit then if we're... Maybe I can come up with a better way to put this. So, because this is my first draft, and that probably means it's trash. That's fair to say.
I have 3 sentences of 5.
Oh, well, yeah.
This is not... No, that's not working for the idea either, though. What else is winter?
I don't know that mine actually does make sense. I don't know if it's a good haiku. I got a feeling out, but it kind of strays a little bit from just being nature imagery. I wonder.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm stuck too, because
so
I try to stick to nature now.
Yeah, I think I can do better. So, I want to think if there's a better way to say my last line. And you know what? Even the middle part, there's got to be. All right, this is my theme, and then I want to see if I can make it sound better.
I keep going to 5 or 8 syllables. I keep missing 7.
Yeah, I was having a hard time with that for the second one.
Also, you're not supposed to use any like punctuation at all, unless it's like the dash or ellipsis.
Oh, okay, that's cool to know.
Yeah, I forgot to bring that up earlier.
Yeah, I actually think my first draft's terrible, so my whole I'm done in 2 minutes thing is not good.
I think I actually have something where I can now enter a dash. Well, I think ellipsis looks better. I'm gonna do that. I think, I'm gonna try another one because I'm not sure if I'm happy with this. How much time do we have left?
We have 9 minutes.
Okay, that's more than enough time. I think 10 minutes actually would have sufficed.
Maybe, yeah. I see now I'm getting nervous though because I want to rewrite my
Mm.
first draft because it sucks. So now I'm like, wait, I could do better than this.
I'm just really happy that I found some sort of mirroring imagery. I'm not sure it works, but I'm excited to see what you think.
Hmm.
I also keep doing like the finger counting thing while thinking about
Yeah, it's hard not
possible
to.
sentences. I feel like I should start writing them down, but I also am like, okay, these are not working. Like I have so many failed sentences at this point. I'm just gonna write them down so the viewers can actually see them.
Oh man, I'm having a hard time now. 'Cause I'm thinking I could say what I'm trying to say way better. Because I kind of, the first one, I kind of made it, it's not really great imagery necessarily. I think I can do better.
I need one more syllable to make this sentence.
Now I'm getting nervous. Okay. uh, hmm.
Oh, no, that's not imagery. That's metaphor. That's too. I don't know. I'm gonna write it anything. That's so nihilistic. I don't know where I went there.
Um,
I now have a second haiku.
I actually feel like I need to do this over. I don't like what I did.
I have like critiques of my own. I'm already criticizing my own haikus. What I like and what I don't like. Like the second one is way more emotionally evocative, but it's also using in the third part a non-nature thing, so I'm not happy with that.
Yeah.
Like that sentence is definitely emotional and not nature.
Yeah, now I'm getting stressed. Okay.
Also, I totally mistyped what I actually was thinking there. How much time do we have?
We have 5.5 minutes, so
Okay, so enough time for a third one?
possibly.
Oh my
Or
gosh,
one
I'm
good
going
one.
so many different directions with this. Actually, I'm gonna do two versions of my first haiku because I just figured out a different sentence that I also like for the third line.
Yeah.
But it's not working as well as a mirror, but I like it. But it's also, it's way too Western in thinking. That's actually not something I expected to be so difficult to get like out of this Western mindset of poetry. Like, yeah, the rhyming, but not about the kind of having to write your conclusion kind of thing is really hard for me not to do. In that sense, I think my first one is the best of the three that I now have. But it's also.
I'm so deep in thought right now, trying to figure out. I'm like, how am I gonna do this in 4 minutes? I'm stuck.
I'm actually starting to relax because now I have things, but it's also like the ideas are starting to spring up more now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm having a hard time with doing the 5.575 thing. Hmm.
Okay, no, I'm just messing around.
Okay, we have 3 minutes left. Uh.
I technically have 3.5 haikus, sort of.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Okay, I have
I
like
have a
one and a
I have a
half.
double version of one haiku, like two different versions of one haiku and a separate one, and then actually a joke one.
A joke one. Oh,
A joke
nice.
one, yeah.
Yeah, I started thinking about a joke one, but I was like, I don't want to swear because I was like gonna swear a lot, and I was like, wait, no. Uh, this is so hard.
I'm actually changing my font and size right now to see if I still like it in a different font, because
Oh,
sometimes your brain
fancy.
starts.
Fancy.
That's actually a trick I'm doing when I write longer pieces.
Really?
Yeah, because you start skipping over mistakes because your brain knows what you wanted to say. So you're not reading what
Oh,
you're seeing, but you're
yeah.
remembering. So
So
if
you're
you
getting kind
change
of a
the
new
font or like,
perspective.
yeah, copy paste it into a different program is also
Smart.
often enough, just to change
That
enough
makes
of the
that makes
context to be
sense.
like read it anew.
Is that why every time I publish something, I'm like, oh, now I see all the mistakes? It's
Yeah,
like sometimes it looks
that's
different.
that's basically the effect,
Oh,
and
okay,
you can
yeah.
use it
That
for
always
your
happens to
own
me.
purposes.
That totally makes sense. All right, we have a minute and a half left, by
Yeah,
the way.
I feel like I'm done.
I think I need one more line to have two haikus here, and I think my first one sucks. I think my second one also sucks, but in a different way.
I feel it. Like
uh,
I think the one I actually wrote first works best as a haiku, but let's discuss it once we see our attempts. Like I have a joke one, which is really just an Easter egg for the viewers, I guess.
all right, these are very similar in spirit. What I came up with,
Mhm.
but I was trying to have um more imagery in the second one. I don't know that I actually am that good at imagery here. I
Mm.
think that like I mean I kind of have an emotion. I don't know.
All right.
I definitely would love your feedback on how to improve this.
Yeah.
'Cause I
So
think you'll
are
get
you
the
basically
concept I'm going
ready
for.
to show me yours? Because I'm
Um,
definitely ready to show you mine.
yeah, we had 30 seconds left, but I think let's call it
Yeah.
there. So
We're
if
definitely cutting it down to 10 minutes, I think. So.
if anybody else is playing along, just know you've got another 20 seconds left. You're good. Don't worry.
We're
But
just
we're gonna
impatient
start.
people.
Yeah, we're ready, I guess. So we're gonna start. That's really happens sometimes with these time challenges, and then you kind of throw in these last minute things where you're like, well, I have another minute. Let me mess around a little.
Yeah, but I'm also like at this point, I feel I have written enough haikus to like discuss. But yeah, if you're playing along, please share in the Discord because we would love to see your attempts.
Yes, join the Venture Crew Discord.
Let's start with our serious attempts first.
Okay.
Because,
Well, I have both of mine are serious, but I'll give you my
yeah.
first one. Bitter, icy cold, falling down, surrounding me, trapped inside, alone. And I
I'll-
don't think there's good imagery there, but there is an emotion.
There's definitely an emotion in that, like the isolation of winter that's really
Yeah.
coming across. Yeah, I think, yeah, I know what you mean. You kind of made it more human than nature. More
Yes.
human nature, basically.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It works though. It's a haiku. It's maybe not the most traditional one, but that's okay. We're starting.
Yeah, I feel like it was sort of it wasn't a bad first attempt. I was just getting the idea out. So this is my second attempt. Just it's a similar concept, but I was trying to go more with imagery to create that emotion. So this one says endless sea of white, a perfectly untouched void, icy bitter cold. And so there I was trying to go with like that same feeling of it's
But in
untouched,
nature
so
imagery.
no one's there. Yeah,
Yes.
and so you get a sense of like if you see a bunch of snow and there's no footsteps, it feels kind of lonely. I was trying to still convey the
Mhm.
loneliness without it being about me. And like the first one, I just picture a house surrounded by snow, and the second one,
Mhm.
I just picture nothing but snow, and it's
Yeah.
lonely. So I
I
think
feel
that
like
maybe I
the
did
second
better.
one is definitely like an upgraded version. Like, not to say the first one is bad because I love both of these,
Thank you.
but the second one is definitely like you took that idea a step further
Yeah,
to.
that was what I was hoping for. Is
Yes,
to.
I absolutely.
Okay, cool.
I love that sentence. An endless sea of white. I am absolutely in love with that.
Oh, thank you.
That's just that. That's evocative. That's
Thank
amazing.
you. That's what I feel like I live in. I'm so sick of shoveling.
But yeah, no, I think like if I had to critique this, like the only thing I could think of like being nitpicky about is maybe the word void. I'm not sure if that's too metaphory.
Yes,
Yeah,
actually, I think you're right. I was
yeah,
having a
like
hard time
maybe
with
like
that.
something like mass or I don't know. Carpet would also be very metaphor. So
Uh,
like I don't know, a perfectly untouched mass,
I mean,
something.
sea of white kind of is too. I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
this
I
is
don't.
tricky.
It is, and I'm not sure what counts and what's not. I think sea in itself is such a nature thing that I would
Mm.
accept that as
I
something.
almost said field because I could imagine that
Mm.
being very literal, like a field full of
That
snow
I
would be a
think that might
field of
actually
white.
work better if you a
Better.
perfectly untouched field or an endless
Yeah.
field of white. Either would work.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's surprisingly
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I was like, oh, I could do this in a couple minutes, but I think this is something that then you could keep editing, you can keep going. Like I
Mm.
could probably do a third draft of this that's even better.
Yeah.
Got into it.
Once you get some feedback and you like figure out where it's failing.
Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah,
feedback's helpful.
yeah. Oh my god. Okay, you
I want to
wanna
see
pick
her so
mine
bad.
apart?
Yes,
So
please,
this
please.
is my first attempt, and I think maybe the one that's actually most haiku-ish. The crane flies southward, sound of beating wings above, as a snowflake melts.
I love that. That's really cool. I like that you connected what the snow means to another, like to an animal and part of that cycle of nature.
Mm.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I was thinking because the cranes here are always gathering before winter comes and are
Mm-hmm.
like making a lot of noise, and a swarm of cranes then flies away towards the south.
Mm-hmm.
That's like really a traditional German thing to witness that winter is here or that
Oh,
winter is
okay,
around the
cool.
corner.
So it's
So
very personal imagery.
yeah, that's definitely something I connect to winter, like the announcement of winter basically.
That's cool. I like that a lot. And to me it kind of has this sense of like thinking about, like birds flying south for the winter. I always think about sort of like change and cycles and they're
Mhm.
getting ready for something that's coming. And that's something that I think that we can all kind of connect to, that there's things in your life that you do something to get ready for. I don't know, it's like a simple thing, but I feel like kind of emotional about it a little bit. So
Mhm.
I think you did a good job just evoking that sense of emotion, and like there's a change in season and a change maybe in your life, and that's
uh,
cool.
I'm really glad that you said like the cycle thing because like meant like I'm noticing now that it's not necessarily that way, but I meant with a snowflake melts like the end of winter because the snow is melting again. But
Okay,
it could
yeah.
also be like first
So it's like the
snowfall.
beginning and the end. Yeah. Yeah, like the snow's coming but it wasn't quite ready maybe.
Mm. Yeah,
Or
which is why
yeah.
I put the ellipsis there because that's the kind of mirroring thing we were talking about.
Right. Yeah.
So,
So you have like the beginning and the end. And so yeah, it really does give that feeling of like a cycle. That's
mm.
cool.
so
Wow, beautifully done.
the alternative, which is not nearly as good,
Okay, yeah. Let's...
I did the same thing but changed the ending because I wasn't happy with the ending, and then decided I was happier with the first ending.
Oh, okay, to just say winter is coming.
Yeah, because
Which
it kind of got stuck in my head, and I realized it's 5 syllables. So.
yeah, that's very Game of Thrones though, unfortunately.
Yeah,
It's weird how like that sentence got like it got sort of
so popular.
it belongs to something else now. So it's just
Yeah.
like I would instantly think of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Also, I think like a haiku like that with okay, so it's like the crane flies southward, sound of beating wings above, That's
Mm-hmm.
still the haiku aesthetic, but winter is
Mm-hmm.
coming is kind of like a conclusion to that, like an end
Yeah.
statement, which is a haiku is supposed to be incomplete and complete itself in the story kind of thing, and I feel like
Yeah.
that's
I think the
absolutely
first
missing
one
the
worked
mark.
better. Yeah, no, I think the first one works better for a number of reasons. That's interesting.
Yeah, so that's
This is
actually what I
cool.
came up with later. Like that was the third one I came up with.
Oh,
I was
okay.
trying to make like an entire thing, and then it was like winter's coming, and I was like, nah, change the first one.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, so actually, the second attempt I made is a little different, but it doesn't work as well either, I think. A chill settles in, silence in the forest spreads, nothing ever lasts. And I
Oh,
forgot the
wow.
S.
I like that a lot.
I think it's very evocative, but it doesn't work in the haiku rules all that much.
Yeah. I could see that. I think that's what I realized about my first one is that it wasn't very like it didn't really fit the vibe of what a haiku is.
Mm.
What my understanding, my very limited understanding of what a haiku is. So I can see that about this one too, because you are making a statement, right? With nothing ever lasts. And I think making a
Exactly.
statement that it should be something you can kind of read into it.
Mm.
And like I think making a statement, like my thing, like trapped inside alone was like I was very much making a statement. I think nothing ever lasts kind of has that too.
Mm.
I bet if you took that concept though
And
and
put it more
reworked
in
that last
imagery.
sign, you could probably figure out. Yeah, you could probably figure
I
out a way
feel
to
like
say
I would
nothing ever
probably
lasts
had
without saying it.
yeah, I would probably have to rework the first line too. I feel like
Mm.
because
I
that's
like the imagery a lot, or the feeling a lot of that though, because
yeah, but it's a feeling and not an imagery, really.
mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, and
think
I think
that's
that's tricky about this is you have
hmm
to create a feeling with imagery, not spell out what the feeling is, and that's hard to do. And it's
hmm
really interesting because like a lot of what I do is visual,
hmm
and that is kind of the thing, right? Is you want to convey a feeling with a visual thing that's happening,
hmm
and sometimes there are more direct and indirect ways to do that. Sometimes you're going to create a feeling with lighting versus you're going to create a feeling with like an
color.
expression of a character or yeah, or all kinds of things. And so I think it's really interesting to look at words like that too. That there's so many different ways to get someone to connect with a feeling, and
Yeah,
this is a really challenging one. And I think it's a beautiful way to do it. I
I
think if you can,
I like it. Yeah, I think that's
yeah,
definitely something I want to practice though, because
yeah, me
I'm
too. This
used
is
to like
cool.
describing emotions in physical states of human beings, like
Mm-hmm.
in body language. That's my go-to for describing emotions or internal
Right.
monologue. I'm really bad at like environmental descriptions to set the mood kind of thing. I'm really
Yeah.
working have been working on that. And I feel like this could probably help.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I wouldn't have thought that writing haikus would help you with other forms of writing, but it
Mm.
actually makes a lot of sense because you're practicing that, being able to create imagery, and that's something that is so important, right, as a writer. And
Mm.
I think it's important too as an artist because what I would want to do with this is sit down and think, okay, how can I make a painting that is literally what I described, but also conveys
Yeah.
a mood, So I,
Yeah.
I think this is a great exercise to just try to get better at, getting a feeling and an idea across it in a visual like that. This is awesome. I'm really into this.
This was fun, yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for inviting me and asking me to do this with you because this
Thank you
is
for joining me in this adventure.
yeah. Heck yeah.
If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and feel free to join the Venture Crew Discord. There's a link in the description below, where you can share your poetry if you played along with us. We would love to see what you came up with. Thank you.
Thanks. You want to hear my joke haiku I just wrote just now?
Okay. You wanna read it?
Yeah. All right. Fuck all this cold shit. I need a flamethrower. Melt it to the ground. That's how I really feel about winter.
That's very winter.
I live on top of a mountain. There's so much snow. I hate it.